What up? What up? Looks like we are live. True Crime Housewife is in the building. And she's waiting. Sorry, I was eating my hummus and spinach wrap and smoking a doobie. We have nothing else on the agenda today, so we will be hanging out with the YouTubes. Joey, what's going on, Joey? Wanda, good to see you guys. Glad you made it. What's going on, Don? What's up, Bobby? Hello. Slatherings in the building. Frederica. Niels the Iron Horse. Sounds like a name. Good to see you, Frederica. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, Jody Lynn says, hey, Sleuth, let's see if I can get through this entire live without getting booted. Reception and Wi-Fi are pretty lame where I'm at. I hate that. Like, there's two very important places that I have to go to, like 4 to 5 times a week that I have to drive. And it's like a dark spot for me. Like, oh God, telling me I got to read this book. No scrolling on the internet. I actually have to open this book and read it. Thank you, Jody. I am. Yeah, I had a really great day the other day. Finally felt good. I was like, man, I'm feeling healthy. Appreciate that. What's up, Marbles? Miss Thang, good to see you. Beach Fairy, hello. True Crime and Other Stuff, how are you? Frank Meister, what up? Tattoo, what up? Yeah, me too. I was stupid for eating that fried chicken and french fries yesterday. Shouldn't have done that. Because it's like it's not even good anymore. Starting to enjoy all the greens and healthy stuff. No effects, what up? Mama Styles, good afternoon. Good to see you, Beth. Silas. Hey, Jerry. Hey, my guy farmer. There's a hummus among us. You got bars, bro. Julianne, good to see you. That's a good question. What are we going to be talking about? You know me, I got all this information here. I don't know. The Stevenson case kind of caught my eye this morning. But other than that, it's up to the crew. I think I've downloaded and processed all the Delphi information. I think I have a good understanding of what's going on. The only thing that really stood out to me, and you can't take, the defense team's word for anything. You got to see it with your own eyes, right? They said something about an image from Brad Holder with two girls laying on the ground with ruins made out of sticks laying across them. So first, I would have to see an accurate representation of the placement of the sticks at the Delphi crime scene and then get my own eyes on this image. And somewhere I have a hard drive somewhere, and it has everything on the dude. Like I said, you guys, this is pretty much anybody that's looking into the Delphi case that started looking around 2017 and you were kind of sleuthing around. Brad Holder would have been your first POI. And he even joked about it. So I'm pretty sure I have everything he ever posted online at that time. So as soon as I find that and go through it, hopefully I can find that image, unless somebody else has it. That's the only thing that stands out to me. But a lot of these documents, you can't really trust it. You know, it's so skewed. Dill pickle hummus is so good. What's up, Jamie? Good to see you. Horihito. No, I don't. I didn't catch Chris Todd. I don't watch that dude. Good to see you, Yvonne T. Legumes. What's up, GP? Yeah, me too. That's why I didn't want to come out and do like another live stream on it. I think the stuff that we've been going over is enough. We need to regurgitate that, go over it a few more times. Yep, for sure. It's what I've been doing all day, working on the blood splatter stuff. We got a lot accomplished in yesterday's members meeting. We were doing some tests about what that might have been. You know, did somebody purposefully put Libby's blood on the tree as a signature, or is it something that was a result of a mortal wound? And I think the conclusion, if what we're seeing from Barb McDonald is accurate, if that artist depiction is correct, and I'm talking about accurate as far as was there any satellites from the drops or anything like that, because the artist did include things like that in their depiction. Nope, didn't watch it last night. Between little Joe Lewis, not sure who that is, being named in the defense doc and Chris Todd on court TV, the case has really jumped. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you meddle. Chris Todd says 2 voices on Guys Down the Hill tape. How the fuck would he know? What's up, Sparky? Good to see you. Jessica, good afternoon. Yeah, let me know, Jamie. I want to take a look at it. Because if you're going to jump all the way and just skip the crime scene that supposedly leads to this Brad Holder guy, we spent an hour and a half looking at the so-called F, and I don't know. I think there was a consensus that it was not smudged onto the tree. Now, again, we're basing that off of an artist depiction. It really depends on how accurate that is. But from what we can see, it doesn't look like a ruin. So you can't just skip the facts that are leading to these suspects. We have to figure out what's going on with those facts before we go anywhere. You're telling me you're going to just take a defense attorney's word for it? You're not even going to look? And he's quoting sources like this Todd character? Oh, man. I'm telling you. It's almost like the defense is new to the Delphi community. We just can't ignore what we've seen with Brad Holder. Well, either could anybody. And I'm sure law enforcement took a look, right? That's how silly this is. They want you to think that law enforcement's in on it. Somehow Kelsey's in on it. Somehow Mike Patty's in on it. Some big cover up. And it wasn't some weird guy who was out there for whatever reason. And the only reason he admitted it is because the people that really did it were threatening him because they run the prison. It's this vast conspiracy. And people are like, yep, I knew it. See, there's just two types of personalities in the world. People that will look at facts and then people that will believe crazy shit. Well, I guess there's three types because I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't believe crazy shit, but I'll listen to it and I'll consider it. I'll look into it, but I'm not going to just believe it because somebody tells me it. Here we go. Lala says, I agree. I listened to Mind Shock this morning. He reads through Reddit posts, and coming from people who know Brad Holder, he's not a good person. Okay. He's not a good person. So what? I know a lot of people who aren't very good. I mean, you don't even have to leave YouTube to find people that aren't good people or a good human. What's that got to do with him putting a ruin on a tree that doesn't look like a ruin, and the body's being covered in sticks in the shape of a ruin that we haven't seen, and the ones that they did show us, one of them doesn't look like anything. The other one looks like it could be, but it's something that happens almost in nature. If you have three sticks that fall over on each other, they're going to make that ruin. So it's not that unbelievable that somebody throwing some sticks on there would put them in that formation. So you have to buy all that before you can start attaching somebody to it, right? And I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying that we got to look at this first, right? I'm not into parkour, right? I can't just jump over the whole stairwell and land on another building. I'm just not able to do that. I got to go step by step. And then I got to go down the stairs, get in the elevator, go down 5 flights, wait till the elevator opens, walk out the front door, go into the next building, and then go into their elevator, find my way to the roof there. But no, these parkour mofos, they're just doing flips from building to building. Come with me, guys. We don't need facts. Look, we can fly or fall with grace. Horihito says, Farmer thought he was essentially piggybacking on the wild accusations and the hype of the recent developments, and unfortunately people seem to be, they are. So you have somebody like Diener, Judge Benjamin Diener. He recused himself and he's cited because of the bloodlust. So he's running from it. The bloodlust, the people with tiki torches are coming down the street. Like that, like the Simpsons movie or episode in the Simpsons, right? And then you have somebody like Rosie. He's like, bloodlust. I'm not going to run from them. I'm going to feed them. He's using he's using the public and social media the way that they tried to use us with the Anthony Shots information. So they're basically doing to Brad Holder what they did to Keegan Klein. But their motive is not the same. The investigator's motive is to find out who killed two girls. The defense motive is to try to get off a guy who's been accused of killing two girls, who admitted to it multiple times. So if they can get people to believe that what they're telling them is true, then it's easy for the rest to just fall in line. But like I said, I don't do parkour. you know, it's one step at a time. And right now, I still haven't gotten past, is that a ruin? Is this a ritualistic site? Where's the rebuttal? JT Gamer, what up? Wonder if Abby told her boyfriend she was going to the bridge that day. She probably did. I will always believe that it wasn't just chance encounter. I don't believe it was a chance encounter either. And that somebody knew they were going to be there. Yep, I definitely feel that way. I'm not convinced, but I do lean towards that. I agree with that, JT. I live in a city that's got a lot of Lebanese immigrants. Yeah, Lebanese food is really good. They have so many hummus flavors. Israeli food and Lebanese food is like one of my favorites. Apparently, well, it's quoted, Sparky, that in the defense's memo, that one of their little online sleuths, let's see, let me pull up the article here. And I actually was going to make a video on this, but then I wasn't sure about it. It was like the only piece that kind of stood out to me. So this is from the defense memorandum. Let me share it. So if this is true, and once again, everything that the defense has been saying, and we've been able to get our own eyes on it, it doesn't line up. So therefore, they can't be trusted with anything they say. That's all they've shown me, because they're skewing the truth, right? That's their job. So I hope everybody out there that's listening, you're not buying any of this shit without at least looking at it for yourself. So here's more from that theater play. I call this one The Tale of an Online Sleuth by Bradley Rosie and Andrew Baldwin. On April 12th, 2017, Trooper Joseph Ryan Winters received a phone call from a man in Georgia, a mysterious man named Ryan Boucher, who had discovered disturbing images on Brad Holder's social media account. Boom, boom, boom. Having somehow learned that Brad Holder's son, Logan, had dated Abby. Let's look at this. Somehow learned. You mean he looked at Facebook? So he opened his Facebook and he did a little bit of research and found an article on Reddit that everybody else has seen, that Logan was Abby's boyfriend. I knew it. See, nobody looks at Abby. They never look at that angle. I knew she had a boyfriend. I'm onto something here. This sophisticated online sleuth, Boucher, began reviewing Brad Holder's social media history on and stalking him online. One of the images Boucher viewed on Brad Holder's social media account. See, now this is the part that gets me, and it is extremely interesting, if true. But from everything else we've been able to verify, these guys are liars. So let's read what they state here. Was an image of two women, either dead or posed as if they were dead, on the ground in what appeared to be a forest. Both women had tree limbs and sticks arranged on their bodies. One of the women had her arm stretched out above her head, similar to the way that Libby's arm was stretched above her head. So, if this statement is true, is extremely telling to me, and I find this very suspicious. But now when I read it, yeah, but I think the average person would just instantly believe it. Like, "Oh my gosh. There's no way he could do that and not be involved." Okay? And then they just totally forget that there's this evidence that they haven't even looked at or seen. They're just, it's all parkour again. They're just jumping from rooftop to rooftop. And even when they hit the ground, like the regular folks, they don't splat and break their leg. They just roll on to the next one, breaking their fall. Oh, nothing to see here. Oh, here's a little bit of truth. Both women were clothed, and the stick and tree branch formations on these girls was different than the stick and tree branch formation on Abby and Libby. Oh, so you had to put a little bit of truth in there, huh? So you didn't look too biased. But otherwise, it bore a very eerie similarity to the murder scene in Delphi. So that was the image that I'm referring to. And I may have it. Because like I said, I've been trying to get a hold of Brad since 2017. I sent him a message. And then I sent him another message in 2019. Joey says, just by watching that video, people were already saying, yep, he killed the girls. Yeah, and it's strange. Let's say he did have something to do with it. We all know that Richard Allen was there. That's why, to me, this all just looks like the groundwork for a plea deal. Because even Richard Allen's not going to divulge his plan to his attorneys, right? He might have his own plan. And timing is everything. But have we talked about the Sons of Odin? Yeah, we've talked about the Sons of Odin. We've spoken about the Vinlanders, but I never heard the term Odinite. We even spoke about Odinism. We even spoke about runes. What's up, Miss Thang? Was there a professor at Purdue named when the talk about K and L geocaching was mentioned? Some guy brought up in the document. Well, there was a guy that the first time I heard his name was on a True Crime Jesus video. That's the only guy I know from Purdue. Slathering says there's a pattern in it. Pattern in what? In the formation of the sticks? I will admit, in one, yes, but it could. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like a stretch. They're reaching. And it would be very easy, you know. Here's my DNA, here's my alibi, and here's your lawsuit for defamation. Thanks, Jamie. Joey Lowell says, so many people look at somebody's Facebook and judge that person, yet they forget you can be anybody you want to. People doing that are just dumb. Yeah, it's a very lazy sleuthing. You know, it's the first layer. Some people can't get past that. You know, and if you can find a real clue online, it's going to be very rare. What's up, Robin? Vic says the defense is literally getting information from a Delphi YouTuber named Crime Night. I never heard of her. That really destroys the team's credibility. Well, yeah. Lala says one of the Reddit posts says that Brad Holder was a house guest of Ron Logan. Don't know the validity of that. Yeah, I've heard that rumor. A lot of people are going to start believing that one. I'll believe it when you can show me some proof, right? And the truth is, anytime anybody ever had a POI for a while, they would say, "Oh, well, they were connected to Ron Logan," right? Because that's makes the story move on. That's the connection. But nobody ever once will go and look for themselves. Did Brad Holder, was he a guest at Ron Logan's? Was he? I don't know. I'm not going to go around saying that. I'm going to say, yeah, I heard that. So the way you put it, I think is correct. But I have a feeling you might actually believe that. Or maybe not. The whole Brad Holder being a guest at Ron Logan's goes hand in hand with this fucking luau they had over there, or pig roast or something. And not one piece of like solid information was ever provided for that. But yet people keep regurgitating it. Why? Because it fits their narrative. Yeah, Cindy. Breaking news. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah, Ricky Lake was good. What was the other one? Um is it Jenny? Yeah, but Ricky Lake was really good. True Crime Housewife says Brad Holder was friends with Ron Logan. Okay. How do you know that? You're going to state it as a fact. Go ahead and send me an email. That way I can join you in stating facts. Yeah. You know, Dina ran away from it and Rosie used it. He's a smart guy. I think I would have done the same thing. Start a little brush fire over in Idiotsville. Attention, citizens of Idiotsville. Do not be alarmed. Ignore the smoke and flames and the sirens that say conspiracy, conspiracy. Do not be alarmed, folks. Miss Dog Lover with the super chat and sponsoring today's Sleuth crew check in. I'm freaked out. Just heard on the news about a murder in park near me. In broad daylight, a 19-year-old male stabbed. Things like that don't happen here. Usually when I hear that, like, oh, this is normally a safe place, things like that don't happen here. Because there's a small town that a large part of my family's from, and they had a little crime wave. Like there was a robbery and a murder and a missing person, and it all ended up being one guy that just happened to be out of his damn mind. And then they haven't had any crime since. So it could be an isolated incident, a personal thing between these two individuals. Cindy, what's up? I'm in the middle too. I don't doubt some of it. Geez, people act like it's case closed. Yeah. See, that's a good way to put it. Because it could be true, right? I don't have a trained eye. Like when I first saw that F and the way the artist depicted it, I almost thought it was like a palm print on the side of a hand. But after running a few tests, no, there's just no way. And it's also, if that's an accurate depiction, there's no way somebody smudged the blood in a shape. If they were trying to make a shape, they were either splashing it with something or squirting it with something onto the tree. Because what most likely is it's from a mortal wound and very close and at a 90-degree angle. Actually, two blood vessels, to be, as a matter of fact, is what we determined. One large and one small. And the reason it's going up and then back down, and then the small wound is kind of doing a loop-de-loop. It's because after the most likely Libby was injured, there was movement, either forced or reacting. But see, we can't say for certain because we don't know how accurate the depiction is. But if it is accurate, and it does look accurate, because if you look at some of the details, it looks like somebody took some time to include specifics. Jamie says, I still believe Richard Allen is involved, but it's hard to believe that one man could do all those things at the crime scene. But what did he do? He killed two girls. So far, that's it. And threw a bunch of sticks on them. What is it that he did out there? That's the part that I don't understand. Because now that these documents have come out, there's been a lot of arguing for that. One man couldn't have done this. Do what? See, you guys are still doing parkour. What is it that he did? He didn't do much, and he had an hour and a half to himself. Did he do it alone? I don't know. Could he have? Heck yeah. He killed two young, they're basically babies. And he's a grown man with old man strength. Yeah, he's short. I'm short. I could kick some ass, guys. So that shit doesn't matter, especially when you're dealing with children. That man could have chased them out there, committed it, and maybe even just tried to cover them. And we know there was dressing and undressing. Yeah, that could have been done in an hour and a half. Why? I have no freaking clue. Could have been, but there's no DNA. If he was down there and moving these bodies, you think he would have his DNA and everything on there. There's not. Does that mean that Brad Holder did it? No. Let's go ahead and pick the guy with the weird Facebook. It's because, and it's kind of easy. Brad Holder has the Facebook that everybody wished that Richard Allen had. But think about it. There's a reason why he doesn't have all that shit. And then there's a reason why the other guy does. One seems innocent and one seems guilty. I swear they're trying to turn this into the West Memphis 3 case. That's what they're doing. They're using that playbook in reverse almost. See, now we're talking. See, this makes sense. And maybe it wasn't Richard Allen. We're not saying Richard Allen 100% is that killer out there, but I'm almost certain he's the guy on the bridge and he's going down for kidnapping. Am I 100%? How could I be? But Cindy's right. It could be he tried to make it look like Odinites. Okay. Is Brad Holder connected to the crime? Yeah, why not? He's very open on Facebook. Let's say he's connected without knowing it. Okay. Let's follow the same path that Mr. Online Sleuth here, Bobby Boucher, the water boy or whatever. Let's follow that same path. Okay. Abby had a boyfriend. What was his name? Okay. Logan Holder. Interesting. Not much here. Oh, what's going on with his dad? He's wearing the bridge guy hat. Oh my gosh. He looks like the sketch. Look at that. He's wearing that same hat. Oh, let's go take a look at his Facebook. He's a Freemason. Oh, yeah, definitely. That goes to my conspiracy theory. Oh, what's this other stuff? Signatures, runes. They just went down that same path. The lazy path. Now, anybody that didn't take the lazy path may have uncovered the real killer, which is most likely Richard Allen, right? But no, they were too busy Facebook stalking Brad Holder, like me. But see, I've managed to learn a lot from my mistakes. Hopefully, I can help you guys along the way. Oh, yeah, that's weird, Slathings. Email it to me, sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Hey, Ruckus is in the building. What's up, Ruckus? Miss Dog Lover says, I'm telling people to stay out of the woods and parks. Scary. True Crime Housewife. For one, we don't know everything that was found in the search, correct? And in those documents, one thing that Fig Solves pointed out the other day, which is a really good point, and I read right over that part, is that they're going to be released. There's more discovery as of the 18th that's not being mentioned in these documents. And remember, they're trying to get the search thrown out. If your guy's innocent, there should be nothing in that search. What are you worried about? The generic things that you were talking about? Guns, knives, blue jackets. Isn't that something that the everyday man has, right? Generic items. So what are you trying to get thrown out? What's the point? Because in court, you can just show all these generic items. Show them for what they are. Yeah, that was a great point. Frederica, the Nails of Iron Horse that I saw on some different podcast last night said these things that were on the girls' bodies are not Odin signs because they don't match what should be there. See, this is going to be a duel. One expert versus the other expert. This is my interpretation. This is their interpretation. Lala says, I believe completely that Richard Allen is the bridge guy, but I've never been able to move past the notion that Richard Allen could not have done this himself. Yeah, it does seem like a lot, right? And he could very well have had help. But I do believe it's possible that he had no help, right? From what we know, the way it plays out, he lured them down there. They didn't do what he said. They took off running. From anybody that's tried to cross that creek, once you get to the other side, and it's not deep, don't let these people paint this picture of this flowing, rushing. I'm trying to cross this flowing Mississippi River. No, this is a creek, you guys, and it comes up to about at the deepest part to your waist. Maybe not even that high. The majority of it, you're up to your, not even to your ankles. Okay. But once you reach that edge, it's muddy and steep. So he most likely caught one of his victims at that point. And it was most likely Abby because it's Libby that they're trying to call her mortal wound some type of signature done, but it doesn't look that way. And then the weird dressing and undressing is probably because he came back. Only Richard Allen is going to be able to tell us what happened. He needs to talk. And believe me, he has a strategy too that not even his defense knows about. And he'll unleash that when he's ready. He's got nothing but time to think about what he plans to do next. He wouldn't have committed the crime if he didn't think he could get away with it. And what Cindy said, yeah, maybe he did know that. Maybe Richard Allen followed the same path that Mr. Bobby Boucher and the defense team did. Maybe the same path that we all did when we first started looking in the case, right? He followed the path. Who's Abby's boyfriend? Oh, he's got a weird dad. Okay. Oh, look, these ruins. Yeah, he could have easily tried to set him up for that, right? How hard would that be? And that's the only way that story works is if you believe that those are ruins. But yeah, we know the three reasons that people stage those crime scenes. They try to mislead, distance, and set people up. And another one is rituals. And then the third is to shock somebody. What's up, Andy? My whole thing is Kagan even said he was supposed to meet up with Livy. That same day they went missing. She never showed up. How would you know that if you weren't there? See, and this is going to be another thing that they want you to believe, that is a coincidence. Could it be? Yes. I don't think so. I think it's more likely that Richard Allen has a connection to the Anthony Shots account than he does to this ritualistic type stuff. And there's a lot we don't know. Believe it or not, Richard Allen did have a Facebook. It was up until I believe late the end of 2018 or right around the new direction presser. That's the word. His Facebook was up and running, and then right around that time it was gone. Okay. If he's getting rid of his Facebook, is that because of the murders, or is that because he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing on Facebook and got caught or something? But if he can get rid of his Facebook and all of his social media accounts, why couldn't he get rid of books on runes and Odinism? Why can't he get rid of all of that? Let's say it was a ritual. Who says he participated? Maybe he didn't agree with that part. A lot we don't know. Joey says, with lies law enforcement has said so far and all the nutty things that have been dragged into the case, I am using what I have learned from years of studying serial murder and forensics and then sit back. Yeah, use your knowledge. You guys all have a brain. Some have managed to get more tools up in there over the years, but still. Yeah, it could be. It really could be. And even, let's say it is a ruin. How do we know that Richard Allen didn't place them there? right? We have all this weird stuff going on with the water, clothes and shoes being found in the water. So he obviously was probably walking back and forth, right? Doing weird shit, coming back and forth, changing, maybe even drenching himself in the water. Joel Rifkin told us, hey, a lot of his murders he did near water, and he did that by design so that he could hide his DNA and evidence. So we ask why Libby, why Abby? Well, he may have had a connection, may have had access to her through social media, lured her to the trail. Okay, well, why down the bridge? Okay, well, there's water down there, and there's a place where he's pretty much shield. There's hills that will shield you from anybody being able to see what you're doing down there. And the only people that are really going to be able to hear you is if anybody's near or underneath that bridge, or maybe up the river, up that creek. So why go down there? Well, it'll be easy to trap somebody down there. Nobody has eyes on you. You have a water source, and just across that water, you have your staging area. What about the fact that this motion was released, then sealed? Was that the defense working the system to essentially make a press release? How was it released without the court reviewing it? Exactly. No, you're 100% right. This was them attempting to let Pandora out of the box. You don't put him back in once he's out. He's out. That's it. You don't go back in the box. That's all they were doing. They were using the system, leaking the information. It's not their decision whether or not to make it public or private. It was a judge's decision. But unfortunately, before that, they probably leaked it out to some clerk's office or something where they can get their hands on it, or some lawyers who have access. It's all about timing. They get access to it and they put it out there. But I think they may have even put it on their own website. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Is the 13th relevant to Odinists? I'm not sure. Yeah, and why would they believe that? One thing that we got to remember is that Richard Allen was at the trails that day. Right? We know he was there. Where were all these other folks? You even had one idiot trying to say one of them was at Ron Logan's house. If you guys go around believing that shit without proof, that's on you. I can't help you. But if you come to me and you tell me something like that and you don't have a document or anything to show me, I'm just going to be irritated about it. Especially because of everything that's gone on with this case so far. It's extremely frustrating. So if you're going to say things like, "Oh, Ron Logan and this Holder character were buddies and they were hanging out," like, can you show me something? Now, it's one thing to say, "Hey, well, I keep hearing this rumor about it," because then that way we can talk about how stupid it is together. But when you have a document or something that can validate it, then we can go ahead and push that further together. Because now I can stand beside you and you're not alone. But I ain't standing with you unless you got something I can wave in the air. Jamie says defense attorneys love playing to the media. Just think about the Murdoch case. Yep, 100%. They literally said, I guarantee, and I can probably quote this. One of those attorneys, Rosie or Baldwin, was like, "So you guys want a conspiracy theory? I'll go ahead and make one for you." And it is sad that about 40% of the United States is unhinged. So it's kind of easy to appeal to that crowd. You know what I mean? The outrage group, outrage junkies, the unhinged and the outrage junkies. Ryan Boucher sees Odinist. I see blood and sticks. Well, he didn't see that. He didn't see the crime scene and he didn't see the ruins. He saw just some image, apparently, that was on Holder's Facebook, and it was of these girls that were fully clothed and they had sticks laying across the top of them in a specific design, which is very telling. I mean, you can't just overlook that. To me, that's a huge statement. But I haven't seen this image, and I don't trust the defense after what I've seen in the memo and what I've witnessed for my own eyes. They are not trustworthy. Does that mean what they're saying here is not true? No. Ruckus. This Hail Mary document is a testament to how desperate the defense is to keep evidence found at Richard Allen's property from being seen by the jury. Yeah, and if this guy is innocent, yeah, and I mean that's not any excuse for your civil rights to be abused. Like, oh, if you got nothing to hide, then we should have cameras in your house and a microchip in your arm so we can track you. No, we're still free Americans, but at the same time, we're past that. They've already searched his home. They already had probable cause. Why are you trying to get that thrown out if there was nothing found? And he's innocent. And everything that was listed is generic. It shouldn't matter. Okay, so put a whole bunch of generic evidence up on that table for the jury. It should be an easy case for you. But no, they're trying to get it thrown out. But like I said, this could all be some veiled groundwork for a plea deal. And maybe these other folks are involved. I don't know. All right, guys, this is going to be our 5-minute warning. Yep, we read it out loud. Did you leave? Yeah, I sure did, Miss Dog Lover. We gave you a shout out. Thanks for sponsoring today's live stream. You must have bounced out at that moment. Cindy says, I just don't get why the so-called white supremacist group would kill 2 young white girls. Well, I'm sure that's what the defense team asked themselves, and that's what led to the next act, right? Chapter 2 of the play leads us to the Florifiers and a racist group, and they're tied in, and this could all be true. This could, it lines up, but that's what a good story is, right? It lines up all of the information. So they're basically saying that they targeted these kids because one of the mothers was dating someone outside of their own race. And they're so racist, they're going to kill 2 white young girls. But the truth is, killers make up excuses that they don't truly believe. Joel Rifkin, he said, hey, yeah, I used to say that the prostitutes, the reason I killed them was that they were vermin, they were the scum of the earth, and that I was doing the rest of the world a favor. Gary Ridgway said the exact same thing. But they both admitted that they were just lying to themselves so that they can go do what they were already planning to do, which was kill and hurt people. So racism could just be that same type of an excuse, right? I don't think a psychopath really needs an excuse. Maybe just needs one to vocalize, push them over that limit, that little edge that they've been trying to hold back from. It's almost like they're telling themselves a lie. Sparky says, OMG, I can't believe people are buying into this. I have thought that it is entirely possible that Richard Allen was part of Odinites or being initiated into the Odinites. That's what I was thinking too. That stupid beard. But that's just my untrained eye, right? It's like, why does he have that weird beard? So yeah, it could have been an initiation. Maybe that's why he didn't have a whole lot of stuff. Remember, he had his brother-in-law recently passed away, but the brother-in-law was taking care of his mother-in-law. So now that the brother-in-law is gone, his wife Kathy had to fill those shoes. So that means she's gone, you know. And this fits in with, typically what happens when these killers have a lot of time on their hands alone, they go out and do this shit. So it all matches with that as well. The stress of his daughter getting married. Maybe he was running around with these Odin Knights or whatever. Or maybe he has his own beliefs. And since the murders, he's wiped the trail clean. He's had 6 years to do that. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, I mean, how can it be determined if it's not clear? Oh, I got you, Slatherings. Yep. And when you ask them if they would like a bottled water, they say no, thank you. Jumping Jack Flash, what up? Says if it was a true ritualistic killing, there would be no mistaking it, in my opinion. And the thing is, why would this Brad Holder guy? I mean, he's not trying to hide his Facebook. Like he hasn't deleted anything. He's not. Why would he do that? Why would he commit a double murder and then continue to take those same signatures and put them all over his Facebook? Was he trying not to appear guilty? But if he's the only one that knows what signatures were left there, he would get rid of that shit. He was the only one that would know why he would be deleting them. Because we've been looking into this case for over 6 years and we just found out or were verified, what was found at that crime scene. But if he knew this entire time, he would have gotten rid of that because it wouldn't have looked suspicious because nobody knew. It would just be gone. All right, guys. If you could hit that like button on the way out, replay crew, drop a comment. Let us know what you think about today's check in. And anybody who's not a member, consider becoming a member. We stay active. Hori Hito says a crime night equals Joe Lewis. I don't know who that is. Sorry. I can't see remove comments. What did you try? I think he's trying to give us a link. Yeah, I don't know who that is, Matt. That is crazy. Yeah, it took me a while. Sometimes your comments will get taken down by YouTube, depending on what you're talking about. Mark Craven, yeah, that was an archaeology professor from Indy. That's the guy I was thinking about. I don't know if that's who they're referring to. But yeah, that's who I was talking about. Thanks, Mark. Some guy that's nuts. That's probably, I don't know who it is. I don't pay attention to that. Question was Brad Holder living with Ron Logan? Not that I know of. These idiots who expropriate in an ideology and fancy themselves Vikings are not exactly interested in the fine details of culture. Hey, Anna. Remember, nobody picks the channels that you guys watch. Only you can take responsibility for that. If you know somebody's a lunatic, it's because you've been watching. Waiting on the next defense memo to include time is like a flat circle. Oh yeah, Jenny Jones. That's the one I was trying to think about. Thank you, Hiawatha. Jenny can cook? I like Jenny. Oh, thanks. Anna says, I think I figured out the Delphi mess. The defense is presenting lots of local gossip, rumors, social media posting. I bet most of it could never be introduced at trial, so they went public. Yep. They yanked old Pandora out of the box. Got to find them before you put them in there, but you can't. It's out there. Kind of like the internet. Once you put it out there, it's out there. What's up, Susan? All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to give a shout out to all of you who caught the live stream. Remember, hit that like button on the way out. It helps the channel for some reason. So that's the easiest way to support this channel if you want to. Thank you, Beach Fairy. Yeah, he could. There's a chance he could walk. But like I said, there's a lot we don't know. And anything that we don't know, I guarantee the defense isn't putting in that memo. The same reason they're trying to get rid of that search warrant. This is what they want us to see. It's a basket of bullshit. And there could be some hints in there, some truth. I just don't know. But from what I've seen so far, it is bullshit. So nothing in that memo includes anything of real substance that is going to point at Richard Allen. Actually, on the contrary, anything that pointed at Richard Allen was most likely removed from that memo. Oh, Sally Jesse Raphael. Forgot about her. What about Donahue? You guys remember Donahue? What's the other guy? You guys remember that other guy who got in a fight with all those Ku Klux Klan members? He was like knocking them down and shit. What the hell was his name? For some reason, I want to call him Ronaldo. He might be a Fox News analyst now. What the hell's his name? Is it Ronaldo? No, that can't be it. Sounds funny. Susan said, just looks like blood splatter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. From two different blood vessels at close range at a 90-degree angle with an up and down, one up and then one down movement. Yeah, it was a pretty good experiment, huh, Mama? Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it's any smudging. It doesn't look like a somebody placed their hand against the tree to lean on it, which I originally thought. But after going and looking at all through the experts and their images and what they had to say, we compared what they were showing us to what Barbara McDonald's her source presented to her with the artist's representation. And yeah, it looks like blood coming directly from an artery or a large and small blood vessel at a 90-degree angle, and the movement goes up and then back down, and then most likely removed from that area. But that's only if that representation is accurate. What's up, Jill? Yeah, they could have been initiating the dude. Sally Jesse. What are you up to today, Ruckus? Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If there was a lot going on at the crime scene, who's to say he didn't show up there? Park at the cemetery, walk down there and cut a bunch of trees and do a bunch of weird shit, maybe even the week prior. Looks more like someone bumped up against the tree. That's why there's a pattern. Well, this pattern is it's like a bunch of circles. And the only way you can make a circle with blood like that is a direct impact. And there's no satellites or anything really kind of coming off of the drop. So it's definitely not a smudge or anything like that. The reason it has those circular motions, if they're accurate, is because it's coming directly from a blood vessel. And the reason they're in a circular motion is because it's a direct angle and it's close. But we don't know if that's accurate. But with the amount of detail put into that, it looks pretty accurate. Yeah, adrenaline. Adrenaline will push you to your limits. Slathering says it is 100% for sure a design. That F or the sticks? Because that's a bold statement. I just spent almost 3 full days looking at it. That is a bold statement. All right, guys, let me grab one or two more. Let's see. Oh, there's Deb. Right, Sleuth. Remember Crime Burgers killed 4 people in 8 minutes. Yeah. Well, he was sloppy. He wasn't really undressing anybody or, doing anything weird. There wasn't really well, I guess there was multiple scenes, but not in a large area. So I think people are more concerned about the undressing and redressing of some and things like that, which would take some time. All right. So last one here on Robin. Sleuth, in your thoughts, wondering if this Delphi murder will be a quick slam dunk trial or will it take longer than the trial is allowed? I want 100% justice for Abby. I hope it's quick. I hope that once this little stunt kind of fails and people like Brad Holder and this Patrick Westfall guy, who is a convicted felon, by the way, and his DNA is on file. So if it was him, they would have matched it, right? So we know the DNA is not there, so it's easy to kind of get rid of that guy. Um, as far as Brad Holder, I don't know if he has any criminal record. There was nothing online. I didn't really look too hard, but if he did, they would have his DNA. So it's going to be as simple as providing an alibi, a DNA sample, and I don't know. It might be followed by a lawsuit. I'm not sure. That would be up to them. Unless these attorneys know that by the way they released it, that it's kind of out of their hands, right? Some sneaky lawyer shit. But at the same time, they're trying to make a point, you know. My my client is innocent and you guys ruined his life. So what's the difference of me just ruining this random person's life? You're doing that to my client because he's innocent. All I'm doing is the same thing to this person that's innocent. That's their argument. Hi, Walther says, in my opinion, Alan kidnapped them and led them down the hill. So either he didn't take part in the physical act, he just brought them down there, or he knew that the water was going to be down there and he cleaned up. He could have easily walked to the water, collected some water, took the clothes, rinsed it off, got all the blood off. That could have been the reason why he was out there for so long. After he did what he did, he maybe snapped out of it and said, okay, now what do I do? And panicked. Because one of the witnesses said that it looked like Abby was covered, like they tried to cover her with sticks and leaves. So we haven't seen that. We don't know what really happened. Later, Goat Dog. I'm out of here too, guys. Good to see everybody. All right. Sorry I couldn't get to all your comments. What's up, Julia? Welcome. Good to see you. Try to hit some of my members. Don Spain. Danita, welcome. All right, last one. Mama Styles. I think the thing we should all be focusing on is why the defense was allowed an oops release. Well, they weren't allowed. Were manipulating the system. That is a huge problem and very disrespectful to the families. But remember, their argument is that Richard Allen is an innocent man. That's how he's pled. He said, I'm innocent. So they're going to do what they can. They don't care about any of that. They have to approach it like what you just said, disrespectful to the families. Their argument is that it's disrespectful to Richard Allen. What's going on? Every stance they take is reversed towards him. They're in that mindset now. Yeah, sketchy is a good word to put it. All right, guys. I'm sorry I don't have any more time, but that's it. I'll see you guys later. I want to give a shout out to Miss Dog Lover for the super chat and Bird Blue for coming back to members. Welcome back. Sorry, guys. Missed a lot of them. Yep, that was interesting. Yeah, good point. I agree with that. All righty, guys. Take care. Have a great day. You might see me in the community page on and off throughout the day. And if we can do something later today, we will. Just got to check with the fam and see what's going on. And I'll let you guys know. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you again soon. Peace.